July 17th, 2013. Super day. This morning, I packed up and left just as a herd of cows started wandering through. I hadn't gone far when the clouds broke open to reveal a single tree-covered hill poking over the horizon. The road joined the river, then began to climb. Only gradually, but that was enough to feel a sense of relief come over me. I had crossed the great Russian plain to reach the mountains once again. With a cheer, I pulled over to the side of the road to take in the moment. The horizon first became flat when I bicycled out of Moldova 67 days ago. I pedaled straight ahead through an unchanging landscape for weeks, then months, without being anywhere discernibly different. In all that time, the endless plain was marred by only the Ural Mountains. I rolled down from the last of those hills, and have been waiting to climb another for the past 23 days. Seeing the next hill up ahead overwhelmed me with joy and relief. My eyes grew moist as my emotions swelled. I've come to understand that the road forward and the road inward are parallel, finely balanced paths. As external trials become secondary, inner obstacles appear more pronounced. I felt this as I passed the days with my attention turned inward, deeply examining myself to the core of my being. The challenge would have been insurmountable if I didn't like what I saw, and as a tear ran down my face at the sight of a hill, I wondered if all those long hours hadn't also broken me in some small way. A tourist gift shop and cafe marked my arrival to the Altai Mountains. After posing for a couple of photos in the parking lot, I went inside to discover that the power was out and no one was working. Back outside, I found the employees gathered around my bike. I told them about my trip and answered questions. With their urging, I got out my guitar and performed for 8 people, my largest crowd yet. I received applause, but they were only being polite. The friendly chef went into the dark cafe and returned with a sushi roll for me. I looked at the pink fish, wondering how long the power had been out, and how long the trip had taken from the ocean to this rural Russian cafe 2,000 miles away. Ultimately, I was more hungry than worried, and the roll tasted delicious. The woman running the gift shop gave me a new t-shirt because she was concerned about the holes in the one I was wearing. I thanked her and put the new shirt on over top of the old ones. Later, I packed the shirt away in case I ever need something clean to wear. She also gave me an elastic bracelet of polished black stones. I thanked her for the gift and packed the piece of jewelry away with my other treasures from the journey. One of the women running the outdoor food stand filled my water bottles with hot tea and gave me 2 small loaves of bread stuffed with meat and 2 more filled with nuts and fruit. As she handed me the food, she told me I have a kind face. That's the second time I've been given that compliment in Russia, which I find to be very sweet. I thanked her and thanked her for the food as well. Soon after arriving in Russia, I made the decision to approach everyone I meet with a sincere kindness and innate trust. I have found that this way of being transcends culture and language. People see me acting this way and mirror the sentiment back to me. The experience is beautiful. I'm creating a world for myself in which everyone is trustworthy and kind. Before leaving, I got a picture posing with the 3 generations of women that have been so eager to help me. I'm smiling broadly and wearing my new shirt. My arms are spread around a young woman on my left and her mother and grandmother on my right, each of them with lovely faces of mixed European and Asian ancestry. They stood close enough that I could reach my arms around all of them, and when I touched their shoulders, I felt the length of time that has passed since I last had physical contact with anyone. The feeling caught me off guard. I didn't realize how much I'd missed the touch of another. Late this afternoon, I followed a path away from the road to a place near the river where I set up camp. Soon after I hung my hammock, a car came down the same way. I was hidden in the trees, but the people looked like they were planning to stay. I went over to say hello and met a young married couple and a guy with a torn-up shirt like me. They poured me a cup of beer from a milk jug and invited me to stay for the first campfire of my journey. Communication started off slow, but after an hour, we were managing pretty well. We found an easy conversation in the language of consumer goods. We both knew a lot of the same international brands, and we compared the cost of things in Russia versus the United States by writing numbers in the dirt. One of the guys worked as a gas station attendant. I talked to gas station attendants almost every day. They're always nice, and he was too. He told me that every fourth day he works a 24-hour shift and gets paid $40 for it. I told him the same job in America would pay him 5 times more, but still wouldn't be enough to live on. He asked if politicians are corrupt in the United States. I said they are, but have created legal ways to do so. He looked disappointed and said that the Russian politics don't even bother with that. Even methods of corruption seem to have a cultural identity. The group left sometime after dark. I retreated to my hammock to bask in the glow of their brief friendship and feel the continued elation of having crossed the Russian plain. The day has been so wonderful that I'm reminded to cherish this experience and the time that I have left on this journey. Now, I'm in my hammock listening to the distant sound of thumping house music. On the far shore, 200 meters away, there is a luxury hotel and dance club. The roof of the building has a brightly lit, 15-foot tall crown with a blue neon sign that reads, Crown of Altai. The whole enterprise seems to be out of place in this otherwise quiet valley. The lights of the hotel reflect off of the river alongside the moonlight, and the music mixes with the gentle sound of rippling water.